What's up, guys, and welcome to the vlog. Today is mine and Tracy's 6-year anniversary of being together. Not our 6 years marriage anniversary, and I know normally once you get married, that's what you celebrate. However, today is the celebration of 6 years of being together. We started dating February 7th of 2011, right? 6 minus 17? 2011. And we've been together ever since. Now, on this channel, I have talked about how me and Tracy met and ended up dating with her. I was friends with her friend Cindy, and Cindy was a mutual friend and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into that. If you want to watch that, that video is on my channel as well. I talk about it. I think it's in the title, so it should be easy to find. I'll try to find it and link it at the end of this video so you can see that if you have any interest, especially for the newer viewers. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit just about some of the stuff that we've had happen, or some of the stuff that it's almost, I'm not sure if I fully believe in soulmates, and I don't mean that negatively because I love Tracy more than any person on this planet except for maybe Noah, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of stuff where our paths have crossed before, and it just seems odd that we ended up together. So maybe there is something like that, I don't know. But we'll start with a couple of stories. So this was actually when I may not have even been born yet, or I may have been just a couple of months old. Tracy and her family lived in a town called Richlands in Virginia, and my uncle Kelvin was a preacher at the Richlands Church of God, and they were neighbors to the Sextons, Tracy's parents, and Tracy and her sister. So, what are you doing? Cats are crazy. So my uncle is an artist. I may have talked about this on my channel briefly as well, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm retelling this story. My uncle is an artist. He teaches art for the Tazewell County Public Schools. He does private art lessons, or used to. I don't know if he still does or not. He has several semi-known paintings, or known paintings in this area, and stuff like that. And one of his most known paintings, or drawings, he has turned this into a painting, but I just have the drawing. This is one of his most famous ones. This is what he grades you on in art class. This is how you pass his class. And it is a portrait of a little girl petting a rabbit. Now, I'm sure you can obviously tell where the story is going. Basically, my uncle needed to draw something, and Tracy was outside when she was very young, petting this rabbit. My uncle took a picture of it and drew a picture from it. And this is one of my uncle's most known works in the area, is the little girl petting the rabbit. And it's Tracy. I think it's crazy that our families crossed even back then, and that's like I said, Tracy's a couple years older than me, so that's just right before I was born, or maybe right after I was born. But yeah, that's it's funny to me that our paths connected that early on. I just think it's crazy. Her mom at our wedding had talked about how my uncle drawing the picture. Little did he know that 20 some odd years later that he was drawing a future family member to the Seabolt family, and I think, that's just a really, really cool story. Another time, me and Tracy had went out to eat with a couple of other people, and when we paid for our bills, the waitress or waiter brought our cards back, and we left and all that stuff. Well, it turns out I had gotten her card and she had gotten mine. And again, that's just another one of those stories. Again, purely coincidental, I'm sure. But again, I think it's funny how stuff works out, because I got her card and she got mine. And, we ended up together in the future. But that's just another fun little story. I don't know. It may not entertain you guys. Maybe you have to be in the situation for it to make sense. But yeah, I just think that's kind of crazy as well. Now, Tracy's in the bedroom currently putting Noah down to sleep, but I asked her about if there's any stories she wanted me to share, or something that maybe meant a lot to her. I don't know if it was right before we started dating or right after. I like Tracy, and my friend Cindy told me, Cindy, if you're watching this at all, I don't mean this negatively at all, of course, but Cindy would tell me that there's no possible way I would ever date Tracy. It's not gonna happen. She likes this guy over here. There's no point in even trying. But of course, I didn't take to that. Normally, I take to that advice when people give that to me, but I didn't this time. But anyway, I think this was before we were dating. And it was super cold outside. It actually was it was snowing. It wasn't a blizzard, but there was several inches of snow, maybe 3 or 4 inches, and it was really, really bad and really, really cold out. And of course, I'm talking to Tracy through text messaging, or maybe Facebook at the time. I don't remember exactly. And she was talking about how her cat had, I think Vincent had peed on her comforter one day. I think she had left him in the room one day while she was at work, and he, you know, just peed on the comforter or whatever, and she didn't have a comforter. And so as a surprise, I drove out to Walmart in the, you know, tough temperatures and whatever, and I bought her a comforter set, and I drove it to her house, and I was like, hey, you know, open your door. And she's like, what? And I knocked on the door, and I took it to her, and I ended up staying there that night, and just, you know, we just hung out and stuff. I think it was before we started dating, but she always liked that story. Like, I, you know, risked my life essentially to make sure that she was taken care of and make sure that she was warm. So that's just a couple of things, a couple of stories about me and Tracy. I still don't share a whole lot, not because I don't think you guys are worth it, but there's still some stuff that we just like to keep private between ourselves, and I'm sure that you guys understand that. But those are just a couple things I wanted to share with that. I think I may have told the one, but anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed some of those stories. I can't believe that 6 years have gone by. We got married 2 years ago. Well, it's like a year and 3 months. We got married in November of 2015. It's crazy that we're married. It's crazy that we have a kid. Like, I can't, like, if you would have asked me, even 5 years ago when I started dating Tracy, if you would have said, where will you be at in 5 years? I don't know. Marriage, maybe I probably could have seen. Like, I've always wanted to get married and stuff like that, so that's not a shock. I've always wanted kids too, but if you would have told me 5 years ago that you'll be married and have a kid, I wouldn't have believed it, man. I never ever would have believed it. But I honestly feel like, for whatever reason, the situation came up and I was put in the right position at the right time, as with her, and things just, I don't know, it just happened, and it worked really well. You know, I'd always been told by people, because, you know, I always wanted to be in a relationship and yada yada yada, and people would always say, you know, stop trying so hard, or things will happen when you're not, when you're least expecting it. And that was kind of the case with Tracy. I wasn't going into it expecting anything. I definitely could see myself dating her, but I was like, that'll never happen. So, you know, whatever. But it ended up happening, and maybe that's the silver lining in this story. Maybe that's something you guys can take away. If you struggle, I mean, I wouldn't take relationship advice from me by any means, but, you know, maybe if you struggle with stuff like that, like, just think, like, sometimes just letting go and just letting life happen has its ways of working out. Now, I'm not the type of person that believes that if it's meant to be, it'll happen, and the reason is, if you don't actively try to do something, it doesn't matter if it's meant to be or not, it's not going to happen. If it's meant for me to be a Hollywood actor, but I never attempt to act in plays or attempt to act in YouTube skits or anything to get my name out there, it's not going to happen. So yeah, maybe that's the thing that you can take away from it, is sometimes just letting the course of the world take its natural course makes things happen, man, and it's pretty cool. Now, I've had relationships in the past, well, not many, but a couple, and I have no ill will towards any of those people. I'm still friends with one of my ex-girlfriends. She's a super cool person. It's just stuff didn't work out. And I don't mean, and like, I hate saying stuff like this because I don't mean anything negative towards any person that I've met in the past, but the last 6 years of my life are not even arguably, I would say, the happiest. And then, of course, finding out Tracy was pregnant and having a kid, it's definitely the happiest time of my life. It also means a lot to be able to do things like this, like YouTube. You know, a lot of partners, whether you're a female with a male or a male with a male or a male with, it doesn't matter. The point is, a lot of times in a partnership, relationship, whatever you want to call it, marriage, it doesn't matter. If you have something like this, you know, and it's a YouTube thing, and it's a passion of mine, but it's kind of a silly hobby too. I mean, I don't make money from it. Like, I literally take time out of my day to do this. A lot of times I feel like a lot of partners would be like, you know, like, we have to do this stuff with the kid. Let's cut down on the videos, just, you know, whatever. But Tracy's been supportive, like, the whole time, man. Everything that I've wanted to do like that, she's always been supportive, and I think that I don't know, I think that speaks a lot about her, the fact that, again, we have a kid, she's in there putting him to bed right now, and I'm not saying I don't do anything for the kid, because I do, but the fact that she's like, you know, I know you gotta do a video, I'm gonna take him in here, put him to bed, do your video, I don't know, that really, really means a lot. I think that's being able to have compatibleness in a relationship where you give and take, so to speak, and my battery's flashing, I hope it doesn't die, but you know, one person doesn't say, hey, you can't do this. It's more of, how can we work around this to where we can both do what we want to do? And I think that me and Tracy have that. And it's, like I said, the last 6 years of my life have probably been the best. It's been the happiest I've been by far. I've really enjoyed the last 6 years. Now, the funny thing is, anytime I have any kind of life event, updates or anything like that. I always get thumbs down. I don't know if that's like people from my past lurking and thumbing them down, but I don't really care. I don't really think thumbs down or thumbs up really means a lot on YouTube, because there's people who've done videos with way more thumbs down than thumbs up, and they still get by. It doesn't get shared any less. That's not how the YouTube algorithm works. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed these stories. I apologize that today's not a normal vlog, but you know what? I said I'm gonna spend time with Tracy a little bit. We went out and ate, and I didn't vlog any of it or anything like that. I wanted to have just a nice day between us. Tomorrow we will return to our regularly scheduled programming. I hope you guys got something out of today. I really hope that you enjoyed today. Sorry for rambling on. I feel like sometimes I get on this habit of talking and it just never stops, so I apologize for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.